few months, you hit the national headlines, not just in the fitness industry. Can you tell us why?
Yeah, I wasn't going to compete again, but I was really into my training. I was lifting some good weights, and I just felt rough after like a week, feeling rough, you know, more or less bedridden, fatigue. I thought, you know what, I need to go to hospital. So my good friend Josh, who was working at the local hospital, he said, come in, we'll do some tests on you. And the run a SATs test is basically how much oxygen your lungs can absorb.
Yeah.
And it should be about 99 to 100, and mine was 80, so that was really bad. And the equivalent to someone who's smoked 40 fags a day for the last 20 years.
Yeah.
And my temperature was 40 degrees.
40 degrees?
Yeah, so it was fever.
Yeah.
I was basically, my body was sort of shutting down. And I said, we're going to have to put you in a ventilator tonight, so call your friends, call your family, because it's a 50-50 chance you won't wake up from this.
Shit.
So I had a few hours to sort of say my goodbyes and tell everyone, don't panic. I'll see you in a few weeks.
Really? Oh my God! That must have been terrifying, mate.
It was, to be honest, I didn't really understand what being on a ventilator sort of what it was. So sort of, I thought, shall I Google it? But I thought, you know what, I don't want to scare myself.
Yeah.
So the next thing I know, I had the whole team around me said, look, we're going to put you to sleep now. So they put this mask on me, and that was out.
So do you know how you caught it?
No idea, to be honest. Obviously, I'm in a lot of contact with people from the gym, people I train with, my clients. No one from the gym had it, so it's weird. But my wife caught it, Kirsty caught it, but she was nowhere near as bad as me. She had the temperature, she had the loss of smell, loss of taste, and she had fatigue for about 3-4 days, but she was fine after that. So
it's like the equivalent of like, so she had like a bit of a mild cold and you kind of literally had it full on. So thing is, the reason, I mean, you hit the national newspapers in the UK because you don't fit the profile. You don't fit the profile for someone because it's supposed to be something that kind of kills off old people, and for younger people, you know, even kids, they don't even feel it. So you're like in your mid-40s, you're fit, you're healthy, you know, you're training, you good healthy lifestyle. And it's like it was such a story that you really got this, and you got it as badly as you did.
Yeah, but it's like everything. It's until you know someone who's got it, you think you're never going to get it, do you? So I mean, I never knew anyone who had it, and obviously not to expect to get it yourself. It's scary, man. So when I went to hospital, said you got coronavirus and pneumonia, then like you said, we're going to put you in a coma. It's like you only got so long to digest all this. So it was scary times.
So do you have any recollection of being under, or do you have any? You
know what? They give you all these sedatives to sort of obviously paralyze you. All these other drugs to sort of when you're under, it's in a state of delirium. So you have all these mad dreams, and it's weird because I remember every dream I had when I was in a coma, and a lot of it was me dreaming I was in a coma and sort of me sinking into basically dying, because I died 3 times apparently. They had to sort of revive me.
Whoa, okay.
And my tubes caught an infection as well, so they had to sort of save me a few times. So I was supposed to be in a coma for 2 weeks, but it was 3.5 weeks in total. Yeah. And after 2 weeks, you start losing like 40% of my body weight.
Yeah. So when you obviously when you woke up, how did you feel? What was it like?
It was strange because I sort of had a memory loss. So I woke up thinking it was Christmas, and all the five.
Certainly wasn't that, mate.
I know. So I woke up thinking, oh, what am I going to do for Christmas? And I didn't know what time it was. And I woke up in a different hospital, so because they transferred me when I was in a coma.
Yeah.
And I had all these mad dreams. I was of all my friends and obviously all the pros that I know, like, you know, Flex and stuff like that. And I've got a funny story to tell you, actually, because
come on then.
I dreamt that I was at Dorian Yates' birthday party, because his birthday is April the 19th, and I dreamt I was at his party, and it's strange. And I dreamt Flex was there and Kevin and everyone was there. And I was like chilling. And when I sort of woke up from a coma, I actually texted Dorian, first time in 8 years. Yeah. And he says, oh, good to see at your party. And he must have thought, it's strange, so I'm not heard from Simon for like 10 years. And he sort of went along with it and said, oh yeah, good to hear from you, you know, how you doing, blah blah blah.
Did Dorian know? Did Dorian know that you've been? Surely he must have heard. So he must have got a message from you out of the blue. It must have been a bit of a shock for him. So that's why he went along with it.
Yeah. So I think he just played along with it because he obviously knew I was sort of on all these drugs and and I actually I messaged Flex Wheeler because Flex FaceTimed me a few times just to see how it was and I said to him, "Oh, it was good to see you at Dorian's party," and he goes, "No, bro." No.
Oh my God!
We were chatting all night at the bar. He goes, "No," and he had to explain to me obviously what he went through. Yeah. So look, you're gonna have all these dreams, all these weird dreams, and you're not gonna differentiate what's real and what's not, and that's gonna stay with you for like a few weeks. So it's crazy.
Yeah. So I mean, you lost 30 kilos. What was it like when you got out? I mean, what was the like when you saw Kirsty, your wife, for the first time? What was that like? Was it? I can't imagine being in this kind of this bizarre situation. You know, you're disorientated.
When I woke up from a coma, I still had another 2 weeks in high dependency unit.
Yeah.
So I couldn't obviously leave the hospital because my legs were paralyzed. I lost that much muscle from my legs. I couldn't even like get out of my bed. So I was bedbound for like about 2 weeks. Yeah. And obviously I wasn't allowed any visitors because of the COVID situation.
Oh God.
So I had no visitors. Obviously no one could come and see me. It was hard because everyone was sort of wondering how I was, and obviously Kirsty was going to get out of her mind. So it's difficult. So
could Kirsty not come and see you because you said she'd had it? No, did she not have any immunity?
No, they just don't let anyone in. They don't let anyone. Yeah, it was just too high risk because it's because I was on a special COVID ward where basically people were just there to sort of die. Because I was in my own room, but after I got better, they put me in another ward, and they were all like old men sort of on the last legs, and every night there'd be someone dying every night in my ward, so they'd be like disappearing every night.
Oh, so what were you? What did you do to keep yourself kind of? How did you feel? Did you feel happy that you were kind of alive and awake and kind of at least recovering?
Just massive confusion and sort of I had someone to sort of try and like a physio to sort of get me out of bed, but that was hard. I remember the first time trying to get out of bed, it took 2 people to lift me off my bed to sort of move around, but that was a challenge. And I was just lying in bed for like literally 2.5 weeks, just it's like a vegetable, to be honest. I couldn't eat, couldn't chew anything, couldn't swallow, so I had to learn how to chew it. So I was fed through a tube for a couple of weeks. How
did that feel though, as being sort of always so strong and healthy and fit, and then to be in this kind of vulnerable state where you were just kind of literally helpless?
It's almost like you are helpless, and all you do is sort of there because there's no TV in your ward, so you just obviously. Even like using my phone that week, the first week was hard because I couldn't even type because it was all gobbledygook. So that was hard. And I was probably sleeping a lot because they give you all the medications, all the painkillers. Yeah. And I caught a blood clot as well when I was in a coma. So I was on medication for that as well. Still taking now. Yeah. But yeah, it just dragged on. And then 2 weeks were hard coming out of a coma.
I saw your Instagram live because it popped up on my thing, and I was like, "Wow, Simon!" I was like, tapped on it, and you just looked really kind of confused. Yeah. You were looking around, and you were like, "It's like."
I did that all wrong because I had the camera turned the wrong way around, so I couldn't see everyone's comments. By the time I started, I thought it was too late to. Yeah, so that was about a week and a half after I'd come out of a coma, so I was still a bit dazed, and because I had so many people obviously send me messages and. See how it was, but it was sort of hard to answer everyone's message. I had probably over 1,000 messages on Instagram.
Wow!
And
Facebook. So you said you heard from like Flex Wheeler, and you obviously spoke with Dorian, who it's not spoke to for a few years. Did you hear from anybody else? Because the thing is, you are very well respected in the international bodybuilding community. Who did you hear from?
Phil Heath, nice. Jay Cutler, Flex Lewis.
Show off.
Yeah. Who else? It's crazy. It was loads. People like that I didn't even know. People from all around the world saying, "We're praying for you." Just total strangers.
Do you get any unusual messages that like really resonated with you, or something that kind of stuck in your mind?
Luke Sandow sent me a message the day before what happened.
He died, yeah.
So that sort of that resonates. Yeah. I've never spoke to Luke before. I don't really know him, but for him to send me a message the day before what happened was eerie. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Was that a text or a voice note?
It was just through Instagram.
Right.
Yeah, just look, I hope you're doing well. That was it.
You know, because I do this other show with Ronnie Coleman. I sent out a load of requests to Phil Heath, Brandon Curry, Flex Lewis, and I said, can you get some questions for Ronnie? And I've actually got a voice note that I haven't actually played. I'm debating whether I should, from Luke. He got 2 questions for Ronnie, and I'm just thinking the next time I film with Ronnie, should I don't know whether I should play it or whether is that appropriate. Because he sent it only literally a few days before he passed. So I'm just wondering if I should maybe play that on the show as a way of,
Yeah, I think you should.
Yeah. So I mean, obviously that hit us pretty hard as well because we are in the midst of COVID, and then like 4 days later, John Meadows had his heart attack, and it was a pretty intense time. So when did you? So what date was that? That was Luke was May the 7th. John Meadows was May the 11th, and obviously we're in the midst of COVID. So when did you? What was the date you went into hospital?
I went into hospital end of March. It was for 29th of March.
Oh wow! Okay.
I was in for 6 weeks. I was in for. So I came out just after early May time.
So what was it like when you finally got home? Was that a good feeling?
Yeah, it was strange because obviously before they released me, I had to sort of prove I could sort of walk aided with crutches.
Yeah. And
I had to sort of they slowly weaned me onto like normal food because I was just eating like liquid food for the first few weeks. Ugh. So when I could sort of prove I could eat without choking, they'd let me out. So I had to sort of walk down the corridor and then had to walk up a flight of stairs. And so once they were happy with that, they said you're good to go.
Good.
But it was strange because being in hospitals, not being able to sort of eat any nice food. I said to Kirsty, I want to go Nando's.
Yeah.
I want to go to KFC. Everywhere's closed. We can't go anywhere.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
I know. So the second day, I said, look, let's go to the supermarket.
Yeah.
And so I went to the supermarket, and obviously all the queues and stuff, which obviously before I went to hospital, there was no queues. You didn't have to queue. So it was just like everything had changed.